Hello, welcome back to BlenderSushi Live Noding. So yesterday I was talking about dynamic paint and also how you could use animation nodes and sphere choke to kind of randomize the color, the size of the brush, and then maybe the shape even, and all those sort of things. I will do the same thing, but today I will show you how you can use image texture just to kind of maybe like stamping image texture, but all using the 3D brush. Let's have a look how we can do that. File save. So let's save this real quick. This is gonna be NSV dynamic paint texture. Okay, so we have this cube. I will leave the cube there, and then I will use just a grid. I'm gonna scale the grid real quick. Subdivide. Yeah, something like that should be enough. We probably gonna need the UV for this canvas. I'll unwrap it real quick. So it has UV now. Save it again. This is gonna be our brush, but the brush need to be textured, so I will do that first. It needs some materials. You shouldn't switch to render cycles because I don't think it's gonna work at the moment. You should stay at the blender cycles and using the cycles material. And let's use I need to also unwrap the this cube, I think. So unwrap the UV just roughly for this example. The texture is gonna be image, and I'll choose an image. In Blender, there's a cool thing. You see, you might have like a lot of folders in the desktop. You can hide the folders by clicking this icon, and now you can see just the picture, just the image. I will grab this guy actually. This is the previous render that I did, and then I will assign the texture to the UV of the image of these objects, and then if I test it, I think it's we don't have any light, so I'll turn on global illumination. Okay, so we have texture on that box, so that's fine. Now I'm gonna turn this guy into a dynamic paint and add canvas, and this guy is gonna be the brush. Add brush and use object material, in this case our material with the textures, and you can see already we can see it's actually working. It gives that indication of the brush or the texture of these objects being painted. I'll turn this brush into wireframe. Okay, so that's I think that's pretty cool. We can actually just duplicate the brush and then we get that effects happening. It's gonna work and give preview only on the frame number 1. Okay, so that's the initial frame, but if you kind of painting it over time, it's gonna do that. It's gonna cache the texture for us. Okay, I think we have everything pretty much set up. Let's go to compositing and just give like random scaling and random, just using animation nodes. Let's see what can we do with this. Object transform output. So we have, let's get our brush and let's turn off always, turn on these 3. Let's do all of this: location, rotation, and scale. Okay, you already learned this many times. We can okay, wiggle. Okay, vector wiggle for the location. Just give like a frame plug into the evolutions. Let's see how it goes now. Okay, it's doing that kind of motion, but you can see sometimes the brush goes up too much and goes down too much. Of course, we can turn that off with this separate vector. Oops. Separate vector. And just use the X and Y. We don't want it in the Z, so now it's doing the wiggle properly. Let's increase the speed like 5 times. And then we can randomize the rotation just for extra variations for the brush. Euler, plug in the frame into this guy, randomize the speed. So now it's rotating as well. And for the scale we use a random wiggle. Plug this to evolution, plug this into scale now. It's doing the scaling as well. Yeah, I think that's seems pretty good. Stop this. File, save as. If I'm not wrong, if I give this a material and then turn on vertex color, we should be able to see a result. Ambient occlusion on. Somehow it doesn't transfer into this guy. Oh, actually, I need to turn on. I need to also turn on this guy, and then let's try again. So at the moment it's doing this vertex painting, right? But you want more than just a vertex painting because it's a really low resolution. You want to try baking it. I'm gonna hide this node tree. We don't need that anymore. We are pretty much done with the nodes today. But you can see this is really fast. It's painting this kind of procedural kind of design. It's quite abstract. I know some of you might not like this too much, but it's interesting. You know, it's just a way to create like a randomized kind of texture. Let's bake this. Ensure that you assign everything like the UV mapping of this square. I think we have everything ready. We can just bake it. By default, cache dynamic paint is the folder. I think I need to delete the one from yesterday. I actually did a previous test render yesterday, and the result I'm getting was something like this. This is only like 200 frames. It's quite abstract, but you know, you can further work with something like this. This is just the basic idea. If we bake it, okay. Now it's baking the dynamic paint. It shouldn't take too long, especially with a low resolution like this, 1024. And the outcome can be quite interesting. So let's have a look. View, how to display preview in Mac. The cool thing is, I think it also has a transparency happening. It's not displaying on the second image. Yeah, that's what I thought. It has this transparency. So if we use 3D objects and then Currently it's just square, but you can get quite a nice result. It has alpha channel and stuff. If your texture actually have alpha, and then this can easily become something else, you know. An error. Okay, that's a probably Mac thing. Okay, so yeah, it's looking like that, something like that. The cool thing about this method is that, let me stop this. You can also use image sequence. Let's go back to compositing. Node editor. Back to animation nodes. For the scaling, I think I will do something different. Number wiggle. Use number wiggle instead. Plug this there. Plug that in. And to remap the value as well. -1 and 1 between 0.1 and 2. Okay, you can see now it's scaling slower, a little bit slower. Make it rotate a little bit faster. Like I said, okay, we can use image sequence. See, you can use single image sequence, or movie, or even like a generated. I have not tried with generated. Source generated. Oh, generated give us this option. Maybe image sequence. Let's select the brush, select the delete. Let's delete this, and then new texture image. You can use cloud, mask graph, and all those image or movie. Map it to UV map. Let's open the movie if we can. Which movie? Actually, this is a this is a texture I found on the internet. But we're gonna try like a movie sequence. Let's try this and this and this, and also the sushi. PPIP, no. Maybe maybe this. Okay, open image, and it's become an image sequence, and you can auto refresh and turn on cyclic. How many frames? For I believe it should be doing it. Sometimes offset 0, 1. It's gonna do this 2 image. 1, 2. Should get like a movie or something. Let's try it again. Delete the texture, new. Yeah, I guess we can do the PPIP block stacking. Yeah, let's just use this guy, and then let's see how it goes. Auto refresh, cyclic on, UV map on. So now it's gonna paint our thing using the movie. Let's see if this actually works. Bake image sequence. We can of course use multiple brush, and our brush shouldn't. It's not like, it doesn't need to be a cube. It can be of any shape. And let's see the outcome. So now it's yeah, it's kind of doing that painting. Sometimes it does this interesting stretching. I think it tries to get like the closest points, like points or color data, and if it's too far, it's gonna stretch it. There must be a solution in order to not to make it stretching, but it does give some kind of interesting result. And over time, you will see that it really can kind of like a remix. You can think of it, if you have a movie and you cut every frames and then you kind of collage the movie. This is exactly kind of thing that's happening. There is no alpha. It's using the cube itself, but I'm kind of wondering if we actually randomize the shape as well. Maybe it's really gonna give like a kind of interesting abstract art. It's I don't know. It's maybe this is the discombobulated kind of effects. I don't know what it's called in art nowadays. It's not quite abstract. It's not quite realistic, but it's kind of a way you try to make sense of a kind of a random and totally out of order, and then it's all messed up. It's chaos, but also you kind of want to find aesthetics in this using this method. Yeah, so that's I guess that's pretty much what I want to show it to you. So this is how you can use dynamic paint and object material texture to do this stamping or kind of a collage of random image. I suggest you to give it a try, and then I want to see what you can come up with. Yeah, I guess thanks again for tuning in to this video. Thanks again for subscribing to